fine flour that makes nice tender biscuits. I'm just going to be mixing that with a little bit of baking soda, some kosher salt, and a little bit of baking powder. I'm just going to mix that up. And then I've taken my butter and I've cut it into small pieces. If you make slices, it's easier to incorporate without mixing too much. So we just mix that in by hand. Once the butter is pretty well incorporated, we go ahead and start adding the buttermilk, but the key to light fluffy biscuits is don't overmix. So you can see there's some big chunks of butter in there. So I just added a little bit at a time and let the flour absorb it. And taking care not to press down or overmix too much. And obviously that tablet would be great. Yeah, it does get very sticky.
I must be doing something wrong.
Nope, you're doing it right. And then we're just going to use a little flour dusted on the cutting board as well to make sure it doesn't stick. And also this is quite a large recipe and it can easily be cut in half for home use. We definitely don't make this size at our house. Yes, absolutely. And that's how, you know, when you see the biscuit bake, you have the layers in between. All right, we're looking good.
In case you don't remember the recipe.
Oh, yeah.
You probably make you in your sleep.
So we're just going to flour the surface a little bit. And smash it down. And bless the gentleman who makes all these biscuits in our restaurant.
Do you have one person dedicated to doing that?
We do have one guy that works 6 days a week, and somebody fills in for him on his day off. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and cut these. And you can adjust thickness for what your preference is.
Why buttermilk instead of butter?
The buttermilk adds a little tang to it as well, which I really like. And the butter, you have to have it melted, and it often browns too soon. And you want the biscuits to kind of like, for that to bake on it.
That's okay. I just made scones the other day, and they got brown too quick. I didn't like that, but it's because I used butter.
Yeah, if you use buttermilk, I love the flavor of buttermilk. So it also adds that tang, but it browns with the biscuit as it cooks.
Do you make your own buttermilk? Or
We don't make our own buttermilk, but there's a lot of really great brands out there. I know that in the store it can be hard to find, especially full-fat buttermilk.
Yeah.
It's like next to impossible. So we've got our oven preheated to 400 degrees, and we're just going to go ahead and bake that in there
How long did this go?
until they're done. It really it depends on
Equivalent
how
to an hour
thick you
for
roll
me.
them. Everybody has a different preference of how thick they like their biscuits. The thicker you roll it, the crunchier the outside is going to get. And the easiest way to tell is if you lift the side of the biscuit, you should have flakes in there. It separates a bit, and you can just see in there, and you'll just be able to see if there's no chunks of dough or butter. And that's our test at the restaurant too. It's just a little lift. At the restaurant, we do them quite thick because they're sandwiches often. So those take about 22 minutes. These should just take about 10 minutes.